Okay, well, we have a very exciting live production today with myself, Scott, and with me, as always, is Trina Paulus, author of Hope for the Flowers. And you just have a ton of things going on in your life nowadays, don't you, Trina?
Yep, how I can be 92 going on 93 and be so busy.
Yeah.
Big gift, but boy, oh boy, it's tough sometimes. I want to keep going with our little flower thing. But today I'm not going to have any of the negative ones that are blooming in my yard that have become so overwhelming that they become weeds. The weeds is a plant growing out of place. So it might be a weed in some place and a really wonderful thing in another. But here is the daylily, and they're coming all over the place, and they spread rapidly, but they're so beautiful when they're out. And you can see that it only lasts a day, and they're edible, by the way. I can eat this, and I might today, and I might not. Here, this little section has 5 more buds, and this section has 3 more buds. So this one stalk will bloom for like 9 days, which is pretty amazing. And I just have a couple more. This year, I'm not planting anything. I'm just not managing with everything else in my life. But there's some other things to talk about. Oh, hmm. Oh, where are you, dear pot? Well, I might not find you right away.
You've got
Oh,
something behind you. Is that it?
this is it. This is it.
Bingo.
This is another daylily. And there's this little red one there. I didn't want to pick the whole plant and take the buds away. This is a called a four o'clock. It doesn't bloom all the time. And there's one more thing I think I have. Two on the floor. Oh, I don't know if it shows it's blue. Scott, does it show blue here?
Yes, it does. It's
Okay.
perfect.
This is a plant that, if it becomes radioactive, will turn to pink and tell us that it's radioactive. I have a whole poster about that from the 70s when we were working at radioactivity a lot and the whole nuclear thing. So that's proliferated in my yard too. It's too much of it. And in here is the little milkweed that I couldn't dig out because it has real roots that come across here. But it was blooming. It was budding nicely. I don't know if you can see a little teeny white bud there. It
A
looks
little
like
higher in the screen. Up, up, up. There we go.
it looks like it might make it. So it's time to. I wanted to have it here for this broadcast, but see, the upper parts are still growing to my amazement. I was going to cut it off, but I didn't. So this might just make it if I put it in soil, but it needs to go in soil pretty quickly. So that's that's my that's my show for today. There's no, I don't have any Japanese knotweed or invasive uh, bamboo right now because we have too much else to talk about. One of the exciting things is the exhibit that's going on right now at the Montclair Library. It really is wonderful to have my own whole town just have to give me a month to have all these wonderful canvases on. And I hope we get a nice video of how that looks. But I just got the copy that we've been working on. This has been such a beautiful experience. There's a team of young leaders across the ocean, across the other side of the world, that I will write to at night, and they will write to me during the daytime if they're working. My letter sent at night will get to them during their daytime and their work. And here we have my picture, and the other person there is named Pracha. He's the one who founded this young leaders group. And if you can imagine, I've been invited to do the keynote speech for the big release of this book, which is not yet released in Thailand. And these books all come to us wrapped The one I showed you was unwrapped, but this is they wrap them in cellophane. When I asked them why they go to that expensive trouble, it's because it's so damp in Thailand. I also think it shows this great reverence that they have for the books. Probably we get so much printed material here. So this is with young people. And here they stuck in the box. In the contracts, usually the author gets 6 books free. And I got my 6 books. So here's an old one. This is a pirated edition before this all happened, 14 years ago. And here's somebody had just pirated it and made pictures of it. It's done probably many places in the world that I don't know about. But they sent me this copy that they found in a used bookstore there. And they did, of course, a much improved version. So I'm featuring Thailand there because to have the book not yet released and have it on the 22nd, the solstice there, and to be gathering videos of the little team here that's worked with the team there is so beautiful. And one of the team people there sent a little video to us, and Scott has gone ahead and made a little thing to show you today. So Scott, let's run with that, please. This is a show that was done. Oh, yeah, for music. Look at the size of this pillar.
Choices and take big risks if they're good for you and the rainforest. Sing really loud and don't be afraid, 'cause you are the stuff of which butterflies are made.
แล้วก็โปรตีนนะครับสมมติเป็นกิจกรรมที่จัดขึ้นตลอดทั้งวันนะครับผมแล้วก็สามารถโซ่ได้เหมือนกันแล้วนะครับโซ่เนี่ยนะครับเราไว้กิจกรรมก็ถึงเราเองนะครับก็คือเวิร์กช็อปครับ
Hope, hope, hope for the flowers transform in a race and realize your power. El bosque le necesita para vivir.
Isn't that charming that they sent to us? And they sent a longer presentation with slides where they're asking all these questions about the purpose of life. Oh, now we're switched to something else.
Yeah, so you haven't really seen many of these slides yet, Trina, so I'll narrate a little bit. This is a mock-up of the exhibition that they had.
This
And
was in Bangkok 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Good. Thank you for mentioning that. So they had lots of people, a lot of kids. They had posters. They had Post-its. They filled in their names on little caterpillars, and you can just see they did a whole bunch of different things here.
Look at the size of that pillar that they made and the cloud on top.
So there we go.
What was sent to me a couple of days ago was just the picture that I first saw, just the pillar and the cloud. And it was just, the cloud was so big, and all it looked like to me was a mushroom atomic cloud kind of over this pillar. I couldn't see that there were all those caterpillars on it. So it's also appropriate to think of that, the cloud, and not knowing what's up there and people trying to race to get there because it must be something good. I don't know what is inside that cloud. They haven't told me that yet. So it looks like the kids can actually climb up and look inside. And there's nothing there. That's probably what's there is nothing. Because that's the idea in Hope for the Flowers. They find this caterpillar pillar and it's lost in the clouds. And so must be good because everybody's rushing there. So that's the Thailand thing. I want to feature it on, and I want to feature this on Saturday when we have a big day, and we're going to read some different languages. We have somebody from East Jerusalem who's Palestinian who will read the Arabic, the new Arabic translation. These have never been published any place, and so we're trying to figure out we also have a Hebrew translation. I'd love to publish both of those together at the same time. Wouldn't that be lovely, folks? So I feel so privileged. And do we have time, Scott, to show the little bit of the one picture of the Hope of the Flowers? Or
Sure. Which one are you referring to?
I want to show the color separation, how one does this.
Do you want to just show the pictures, or did you want to actually pick up some of the paper that you have?
I'd like you to show the pictures, and I might pick up something to show something.
Okay. Well, let's start with these then.
Okay.
So
this
can.
Oh.
Is that?
I guess I should show something first, so it makes some context.
Sure. Okay. There we go.
This
here.
Every one of the 80. This took a year of my life, by the way. This part of it. The book was written, the text was edited, but to do the color separations by hand took that time. So this was the envelope that each page, double page spread, was put in. An envelope like this, and then pictures from the book once it was printed were printed on the outside. So I'm going to show you a couple of the inside pages. And so everything has to be registered closely together. And before Scott shows you that picture again, I want to show you this one. You recognize this as the black lines that are in that drawing. Okay, now what you have to do, you have to get the green part as a watercolor wash type of thing. And I'll tell you about how we got to what green, how to choose the colors. And Scott, could you show it now? Your part, what you have. Now,
is that the one that you referring to? Yes.
That's it. You see, that's the text on one side, and you have this yellow with the lines around her. Then you have this stripe, I think, and then you have the yellow that's twisted there in black. That then can be a space left and printed in a yellow plate. This was printed in two colors. A regular processed yellow that's common, but then the black isn't. Do you know what black is? Black is not a color. It's made of many different kinds of colors. And in those days before the computer, this is the book so it's, you can take that down, Scott. Okay. Oh, you should, good. So this is a Pantone book. This is a big book. And so what we needed was a black that went toward blue. So you got something that might be really even dark blue. And then there's blacks that go toward red. And I was desperately afraid if the black went toward red, I don't care what you see right here. You see that there are some of these pages where there's almost black, but when it's lighter, it will go toward red. And we couldn't have that. Could just imagine. I was terribly afraid that the green caterpillars would end up being red, because black and yellow mixed together, if it was a black that had red in it, would look like a muddy brown, and that would be pretty bad for mountains of caterpillars like we have. So the fact that it went toward blue, so we had to choose Pantone Black 6. So that was a very important piece of this thing. And that was why the editor and everybody in Thailand went to the printer the day it was printed to make sure that the green would be okay. And they came out beautifully. The green in the Thai version and in our English version came out beautifully. Let's see if I can find it. I don't know if you can see that this is a decent green. This is on the darky side, and it's beautiful. They did a super job. And this is the third anniversary the third anniversary of, it's the first anniversary of the death of Pracha, who's founded this young leaders group that you saw so much about, doing that whole thing. And he used to take this book in copy form before it was published around China and Borneo and all these different countries. And also he was editing it on his way to Findhorn in Scotland, one of the famous places that makes huge cabbages, to give a 3-week course in eco-village. Now, this is all the kind of thing that I was involved in personally in those years. So it's been thrilling for me to meet my compatriots who are doing the same kind of important work across the world. And he would take another thing, a little teeny video. If you've never seen it, look up The Story of Stuff. It's a short little thing that he would take around China. And I knew it too. And so it's been thrilling. And now to see my generation at this age working in tandem with that generation over there. And then we are giving Scott is going to help me make a video to send to them for the launching of this book in Thailand, this 3rd edition, this 3rd printing. So I think that's really a beautiful thing to be part of. Now to end with this, this is starting, I didn't even know that this female was laying eggs, but here's a little teeny monarch caterpillar. Can you see it at all?
Yes, we can. A little closer if you can, a little higher, up, higher. Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
There
I
it
see
is.
it.
It's about a week old. And what happened is that my neighbor told me she saw one. I didn't see it. And I went out and I found a lot of holes where obviously caterpillars had been born. It takes 4 days in the egg, then they're born and they start to eat. But obviously there are other things around that eat them, because it's the only caterpillar I found after looking at quite a few milkweed leaves. So we're into milkweed season again and butterfly season again, and an exhibit at the library, and hoping for a world of peace. And I keep thinking that our slogan for this, radical sharing, freely chosen, is just about the only thing that will work to bring us peace in this world. So I want to leave you with that again, and thank you for watching. Thank you, Scott, for doing this. Amen.